Taylor Jacobs here for the first time at this 12:30 show with Chris Pisano. Now moving into the evening, Karen Randall, you are the queen of Randall's Farm and Greenhouse, Karen. So I hope I can fill Chris's shoes somewhat. They're too big for me to possibly fill all the way. But today, the sun is beating down on us. We're typically used to our plants being out in the sun, but there are some that actually like the shade.
Exactly, and shade gardening can be a challenge, but this time of year, it's the place you want to be. You want to be in the shade, you want it to look beautiful. So what can you plant that will do well in the shade? We always talk about your flowering plants need like at least 6 hours of sun, but we have some beautiful flowering plants here that will do well in the shade. And we have 3 classes of them. Now, if you've listened before, you're a gardener, you know. Perennials. I have a lot of perennials in front of me.
Perennials.
These are plants that come back every year.
Okay.
So when you plant these, if they get well established, you can hope to see them come back in the spring.
All right.
We have a favorite here, Lily of the Valley. It's been one of my favorites forever. It has a little tiny white bell on it, and it's not blooming now because perennials bloom at all different times of the season.
All right.
And Lily of the Valley is one of the first perennials to bloom. And when you plant a little bit like this, it will spread and take up a big spot in your garden. So you want to keep that in mind.
Okay, so kind of like wildfire. It can spread in a way real quick.
It's great.
Real quick. I like this.
And then a lot of people like to plant ornamental grasses, which require full sun. But this is Hakone Grass. It's a beautiful lime green color, and it does very well in the shade.
All right.
If you want something to attract hummingbirds.
Oh yeah, look at those beaks coming off of those.
Oh yes, this is foxglove. And foxglove is also very stately, comes in a lot of different colors, and the little tubular flower is what the hummingbirds are attracted to. Then we have this pretty leaf over here that has a not so pretty name.
Yeah, but it feels really nice. Tell people about this name because they're gonna at home be like, this is about to give me some sort of disease.
No, it's called lungwort or pulmonaria.
That sounds painful.
And it's not painful at all.
It's got these soft little, thistles on it, I guess you could call it.
Well, it has a little texture to it.
I like it. So is that annuals, perennials?
These are perennials except this is caladium. Now this is a often overlooked annual that does very well in the shade, and it's very colorful. And it reminds me of anthurium, tropical, but it grows in New England, but only for the season.
So I wrote down perennial, annuals. There's a third one though you were saying, right?
And there are trees and shrubs. Well, we have a few more annuals that I want to mention. They aren't right here in front of us. But the most popular annuals for the shade are impatiens, coleus, and begonias. And we have those represented behind us, and I'll make sure we get a nice picture of those.
Oh, yes.
And then over here we have hydrangea.
All right.
And depending on the variety of hydrangea, most hydrangeas like at least part shade or all shade. So read the tag and pick out a hydrangea for your garden. And then we have mountain laurel, loves the shade. Also, there's just a variety of trees and shrubs that like the shade. So the secret is read the tags, and that will tell you. That's the secret. But when you think that you can't have a beautiful garden in the shade, you can.
There it is. You heard it from Karen Randall herself, folks. You got to go buy them. Summer, it's running to an end faster than you think. They need the shade.